Hello, I'm so glad you made it. You've made it here to a beautiful space. In this space, it's all about healing and pouring nourishing light and energy into our bodies, and not just that, becoming balanced, raw vegans. And when I say balanced, I mean in all aspects of life. My name is Tiana, for those who don't know me, and I am not just a registered nurse, but I have a passion for helping people understand the potential of food freedom and releasing ourselves from the boundaries of chemical food addiction through eating raw. And not just that, I also have a passion for exercise, and I'm here to be a guide for you in this wellness journey. So to get started, I really want to share, I know for me, when I was transitioning to become raw vegan, I had a lot of questions, a lot of hiccups, and just things out there that I wish I had. So I did put together a guide, and they are available. If you're already in the Raw Vegan Challenge, you will find it in the platforms under the files sections. Otherwise, there is one link to this video. I just want to start out with making sure you know your why and having that written down. As we embark on eating raw, it is a detox style of eating. So as we clean our body, a lot of emotional healing is also going to happen while the physical healing. And as we have our old food vices, we might want to be tempted to lean towards. This is going to be a time where we're going to need to remember our why, take out a journal, be mindful, and practice spiritual uplifting and healing, so that we can not only understand why we're maybe upset or triggered, but then also what is it that we are wanting really. Are we craving to be heard? Are we craving to feel loved? Do we want comfort? Do we want a nap? Do we need to get out and walk and get some sunshine? So this also is a journey about being in tune with yourself and furthering the healing process within your body. Okay, so you have your why, and you have how you're going to deal with these emotional detox times, whether it's journaling, meditating, praying, talking to a friend, just sitting and being quiet with ourselves, sometimes even that, breathing techniques, or just taking a nap, even just resetting. So you have those in place because they will come, but keep in mind they are temporary. As we go through any type of detox, you have to go through how we're going to cope in healthier ways. So next I want to talk about is supplies for the kitchen. Now if you have gone through the guides, you will find that they're broken down in sections. You can go in the index and find out what you want to focus on, whether it's recipes for breakfast or dessert, or just meal prepping or washing or dehydrating. You can skip around. Feel free to skip around and focus on what you're doing at the moment. But at least be familiar with the context so you know it's there available for you. So now you can make this process simple. Mono meals, grab a bag of apples, grab a bag of grapes, mangoes, pears, melons. So a good knife, I would say, and a good vegetable wash. For me, I just get the gallons of distilled vinegar and I use that as my I dilute it, and that's my vegetable wash. Now, if you want to add a little more to your experience, I do recommend having a good blender, a spiralizer, and a dehydrator and a juicer. Now, these are all just things that are not required, but if you have them, feel free to incorporate them in this journey. Other tools you're going to need is some sort of nutritional tracking app. As we get ready to eat raw, we're not familiar with how much we have to eat. We're used to eating high calorie dense foods, but with eating raw, a lot of it is high water and low calorie dense. So you'd be surprised that a lot of people actually end up under eating when they're starting out raw. So I recommend getting something like MyFitnessPal. My favorite is Chronometer, or any other that's going to help you track your nutrients so that you are not under eating. I made this mistake when I first started, and I realized I was only eating like 700 calories a day, even though I had like 5 bananas, 6 apples, and a smoothie and some juice. I'm like, I'm still hungry. If you find yourself getting weak and tired, chances are you are under eating. Now, some people are good with, for me, writing it down, what I'm going to eat the next day. It gives me a guide of kind of something to stick to. But then there's days where I'm just super busy, so I have apples and bananas and mangoes just ready to grab, and as I get hungry, I grab them. So whatever flow works best for you. But if you're new, at least like the first 2-3 days, I recommend writing down what you're going to eat and kind of trying to stick to that, at least for the meals. And to give you an idea of what a typical raw day looks like, it is, for me, it's starting my day with my green juice, because that is what gives me energy and hydration and minerals. To me, that is my cup of coffee. It's so energizing. And then for lunch, I will have a smoothie. I like to use the Sun Warriors plant-based protein powder. One thing I like about that one is that it has most of the nutrients that you need for the day, a lot of vitamins in it. And then for dinner, I will do one of my favorites, whether it's like a cucumber noodle pasta or a zucchini noodle pasta using the spiralizer, or I'll do a wrap, which I love, which are the collard wraps. They make great. Or if you don't like raw collards, you can also feel free to venture out to other kind of wraps, whether it's romaine or you just get creative with it. And that's usually my evening. And then if I'm still hungry before bed, I will just grab something like a few dates, or maybe one more banana, or I'll do some salsa and either carrots or bell peppers, one of my favorites. Otherwise, yeah, so just don't be afraid to eat in abundance. It will level out. So at this point, it's just about transitioning and getting used to this style of eating. So being restrictive it can be a lot in the beginning. Other tips, I recommend getting a good digestive enzyme, because we are probably not used to eating this much raw fruits and vegetables. So we, over time, actually end up, our bowels weaken. So as we go through this process, it takes time for our bowels to get strong again to digest all this. So you're going to have things like gas and bloating. So don't be afraid to add in a digestive enzyme with things that are going to cause you gassy. And if you need any help or tips with any of this, feel free to reach out. I do offer one-on-one coaching, or also check out the Q&A section. If you are in a challenge, I try to address those and be there to support you. So please read through it. Let me know any questions you have. This is going to be great. So like with all eating, our body still follows the basic principles of calories in versus calories out for weight loss. But keep in mind that all calories aren't created equal, because I have personally eaten 2,000 calories a day and still managed to, because it's so bulky and so much fiber, there's so much good bowel motility happening. I believe that's part of the reason why it helped me to just actually release weight up to a pound to half a pound a day when I paired eating raw with intermittent fasting. Now, as you get started, I'm no way encouraging you to do intermittent fasting with raw, because you at least need to get used to just eating less dense foods. So kind of go easy on yourself. If you're still hungry before bed, grab snacks like some apples and some nut butters. Chances are you might need a little bit more fat, like some avocado or tahini or some raw hummus recipe. Even one of my favorites is the energy balls that are so good. It's paired with dates and your favorite nuts, and you roll it up, and it's just so good. And you can pop those in just to help satiate right before bed, because sometimes you're just still hungry, especially when you're pairing working out with trying to eat raw. So don't be afraid of eating in abundance with raw. I just want to say that by no means are you going to be, it's not the same as eating standard American diet. You're going to find yourself releasing inflammation, releasing excess weight, releasing a lot from your body. So I really encourage to just kind of let go of that mentality with food where less is better. In this case, it's hard to shift, but it's what's necessary. Lastly, I just want to go over a quick meal planning. For me, it helps me to at least think about what I'm going to eat over the next 2 or 3 days at minimum, so that when I go to the store, I already have some recipes in mind and what juices I'm going to make, so I can grab those. I shop anytime, as much as 2 to 3 times a week. Keep in mind, it is produce, so it's not going to last as long. But don't be afraid to venture out to the frozen raw section. For example, I love buying frozen mangoes, frozen bananas, as long as I try to get the organic, no sugar added type of frozen things for our smoothies and our just dessert recipes. So that also helps with cutting down in our shopping experiences.